yet we go to this very, very mysterious site. Very, very amazing site. This is the Calico Early Man Site, Calico, California. Yermo, California. It's the old entrance to the site. It's closed down. There's access this way to the exit. And we're going to check out the site, which has been largely abandoned and destroyed. Structures are destroyed. And it's been basically sacked. There's old campsites over here where you used to be able to camp out and have a picnic and go on a little archaeological adventure. Or even if you debate that it's an archaeologically relevant site, a geological adventure, because this is a geological wonderland of surface level minerals and fossils, etc. Wonderful place just for the geology alone. So here's the site, and I'm going to step out of the vehicle and just do a little mini tour, but it's completely destroyed, as you can see. This is the former office, or maybe this could have been a little museum that was here. It's abandoned. Basically, maybe what used to be a kitchen, really old fridge, and then everything is emptied out of here. There's nothing in here. You can walk in here, no sign of life. Everything has been torn out of here, including what struck me or my attention is a bunch of minerals that were just tossed out, left out in the open. And this stack right here, just quickly take a look at what we have here. Might not look like much, but it seems like items that were at one point considered of some level of archaeological importance that was collected by the archaeologists here back in the day. Yet again, when it was considered an archaeologically relevant site, no longer is the case. These items are just tossed here and left out in the open. So yeah, it's worth looking at. Potential signs of flip mapping. Look at this item here. I really do not know what exactly it is, but it is very interesting. And this is the view of the area. That's the 15 freeway running there towards Barstow and Baker, California. So yeah, this is the site. They're destroyed. This building collapsed. The actual archaeological dig is down that way. I'm going to go there as well. But yeah, total devastation here. Yet again, there's a bunch of minerals that could be potential artifacts. Again, it's debatable, but a lot of it shows sign of potential flint napping. Now look at this. do your research on the internet or here on YouTube, this used to be a pretty noted, even though debated and controversial site. This is the building that got kicked out. That's somewhat intriguing. SLBCO Museum. What does that say? 1965. So back in 1965, this was a relevant site. No longer 2021. It's ruins. Yeah, there's more random rocks. The sheer variety of rocks is pretty incredible. Tossed about, but some of it came out from the side. The rocks that were processed. So this looks like obsidian to me. Wow, it doesn't seem man-made, but a pretty sharp edge. It's not a point. It doesn't seem like it was. Very, very sharp edge and hard rock. You could definitely kill something with this. I'm stupid. I just walked up to this little hill right behind these abandoned offices. There's a little area where it seems like there's a big pile of flakes. So I have no idea about the origins of this, but it's definitely flaked material that either does or does not show signs of human handling, flint napping. There's certain ways to tell, but I am not an expert on the subject. But giant pile of flakes like this is quite intriguing. It's a similar shape, but a familiar shape that I see quite a bit. Here, so it's just not an isolated concentration. It is certainly amazing rocks all over the surface level here, and it's the kind of rock that splinters and flakes naturally. This is one of the hills here right next to the archaeological site. This is not a big site, but you can see the sheer variety of rocks here. A lot of it is flaked. See, there's a larger rock there, and all those small flakes in a concentrated area all over the place. Look at this. And put it right back there. So I'm gonna make the walk to the actual main dig site, which I didn't do the last time around I was here. Here's the self-guided tour. Pretty awesome site for the archaeological sites of America. Somewhat of a landmark to all those that care about this kind of stuff. Yeah, we're gonna stop one. Introduction to the self-guided tour. And we're gonna head up over there. Those are the steps that the archaeologists used to take to get up to the main dig. Awesome spot. Sheer variety of rocks is pretty stunning. There's a way to go around and also get to the dig that way, but I'm going to take these steps. The hilltop. Stop to the crew steps. 1963, reused until 68. When the dig was aborted, I believe. Crew only. Count me in, I suppose. There's pretty awesome sponge-like rocks around here. I don't know what type of rocks these are, but they tumble out of a certain side of the hill. Pretty fascinating stuff. Close-ups, huh? Pretty steep, and the steps up here are washed out, so I gotta watch my steps here. Pretty hot today, far less windy than last time, so there's a chance that I'm gonna try to fly a drone and see what we can see from a bird's eye view. If any interesting patterns emerge. Or not, which I suspect they might, as far as areas where there's clusters of flakes. Whew. Interesting wash here. I believe I'm going to take this rather steep path up, but I believe this is it. More random flakes around. This is a far more loose area. Loose dirt and smaller particles. And a lot of these sponge-like rocks, which I simply do not know what they are. Look at the variety of rocks right here in this pile. Wonder if they're moved by the archaeological team or they were just naturally piled up in such a manner. Whew. All right, almost up to the hilltop here. We shall have a view of the dig site. There we go. Here we go. There's some crows that live around here. Lonely crows. So this is the whole area. I'm gonna go down to the main dig. There's several sub-sites. There's one way up there, which I checked out last time, but this is the main one. Amazing views. There's an old abandoned toilet. At least I believe that's what it is. And these pile of rocks were most definitely piled up and marked and numbered by the archaeological team. Steps leading down to that site. Here. All right. It's kind of a spooky abandoned site. Sort of gives me the creeps, but not too bad. Okay. There we go. Very cool. So that is the main dig down there. Master pit number 3. Perhaps I was wrong. This is not de facto pit number 1. Perhaps. I figure this is the main site. Yeah, there's a number of pits. I'll try to record as many of them as possible. Huge pile of rocks here, and there's a ton of them over there as well. Definitely were moved and dug up by archaeologists. All right. Inside the pit. There's a broom. Someone must have tended to the place. I haven't seen that prior times I visited this spot. So there's different terraces, different levels, and thankfully the site is intact with all the markers, the different layers that they analyzed. Seems to be largely intact. You can see all those nails sticking out. So yeah, this is the main dig pit, or at least pit number 3 according to numbering, but this is the largest pit for sure, at least that I'm aware of. You can see we're about 10 feet deep, maybe even 15, and you see the sheer variety of rocks embedded into the walls of this. Also on the ground level, what's there. All right. So this is it. The Calico Early Man Site. This is part of the site. I'm gonna continue to explore different parts. Amazing views, magical site. Continue my walk from Master Pit 3 to the next pit. I'm not sure exactly what it's gonna be called. Okay, here's the big pile of rocks that I filmed earlier. We're gonna take some steps up, these winding steps. So there's a smaller pit there, not so easily accessible, but I'll try to get there as well. That is busted open. The fencing is busted open there. Okay, here we go. More rocks that were likely analyzed, or they were about to be analyzed. Long rows of it, going all the way up the hillside. Excavated rocks. Of course. Okay. There's another wing of the dig. That is not accessible. Not at all. Certainly not going to risk my personal safety. There's a lot of rusty nails and miscellaneous metal debris around, so one must watch his or her with their steps around here. There's actually a particular hillside that is literally covered with rusty nails and building materials. Former stop 11 for a tour that used to take place here. No visitors beyond this point. Oops, there goes one visor. It is windy up here, certainly. Good luck flying a drone. see again, flakes all over the place, all sorts of rocks, clusters of them. Oh, here's another long, narrow pit that goes along the top of the hill. I went to that one all the way up there last time, so I think that's recorded in my previous video. That will be mixed in with this one. Here's another shallow pit. Alright, now I'm just going to randomly wander around and see if I see any suspicious or very intriguing rocks around here, and explore more distant wings of this basin. I went up even higher above the first area site, and we have better view on top of the ridge and beyond it. So I'm gonna make my way to show there's these clusters of flakes, of course. And this one I kicked into accidentally, and this one is, look at how thin the sharp it is. Likely a naturally occurring piece, but it's glass-like, super hard, and really sharp. It's not flaked by human hands, at least it doesn't appear to be, but it's a natural knife. This is, you could carve things up. It's pretty amazing. Glass-like, so incredibly dense. Worth seeing, flakes all over, and these stood out as particularly nice, likely from the same rock. Beautiful, beautiful rock. They've been flaked on all sides, seemingly. Yeah, every angle has been hit by something. There's another part of it, almost certain that it's from the same rock, but can't be certain. Very, very beautiful stuff. Beautiful rocks. I gotta take that, please. Yes. Glass-like. Super, super dense and strong rocks. And sharp. Most importantly, very sharp. It's totally silent out here, except for the occasional rattling due to the wind. There's two lone crows that are the guardians of this place. I'm sure they're closely watching me. Well, I just stumbled into an interesting piece. I think it's worth showing right here. I just noticed that little zigzag. And that to me is some sort of a telltale sign of work on this by human hands. This the famous zigzag pattern of flint knapping the edges. So I would believe this was handled by a human being. Perhaps an abandoned piece. Right there. Up we go. Well, I climbed way higher up to my actual destination. Walking up on this wash. So I'm scooping for cool rocks, and there's really an amazing variety of rocks. Shit, now I lost sight of it. But yeah, I looked at this one, and this is where I found it. But I saw this oval shape. I'm like, oh, that's curious. And officially, I perhaps shouldn't even touch it. But I looked at like, oh, it's got the crazy sharp edges. Not terribly sharp, but edges all around. And it has the zigzag ridge. If you know what you're looking for, it's a sign of a napping or being hit by a rock from the top, from the bottom, from the top, from the bottom to get it down to a smaller size. And so this looks like a candidate for that. Not the most beautiful stone amongst the other ones, but yeah, this is the one I'm like, okay, this could be been handled by a human being. But yeah, again, I'm just guessing. So there it goes. is going to be on this side. Incredible views. I love this place. This is the entrance of the just to let you notice that basically we're just going to leave it alone. Indicator. We had another very interesting find here that caught my eye. Look at that. It's basically a sharp edge on all sides, yet obviously unfinished, or it's just a miraculously awesome creation next to nature. I don't know. Whew, what a lonely spot. The interesting subjects keep on offering themselves, and at least I can just video it. More of the same, but this one stuck out really easy. It's the typical shape that you find, kind of like a teardrop shape, and you know, there's some level of zigzag on the edges, and appears to have been hit and chipped from all angles, but kind of rudimentary. There's also smaller flakes. This scene will conclude my video. I'm gonna head out of here, head back to LA. It's about a 2-hour drive. Beautiful area. For the geology alone, to me, it's a total wonderland. I love this place. But of course, it's as close to the public and unabandoned. Early American prehistoric archaeological site. This owned by mainstream archaeology, and at this point we have to take their word for it. But it's absolutely a sad situation. It's an abandoned site, and the fact that it was vandalized and sacked. But it is a vast area. I think it's a very important and amazing area. I'm excited to explore different parts of the Calico Hills, because from what I've read, yet again, very, very interesting geological site. Amazing rocks. I love this place.